Hello and welcome to our presentation entitled Fostering Jesuit Queer Inclusivity in a Charged Political Environment, One Campus's Journey. My name is Dr. Erin Winterrowd, and this is Professor Alyse Knorr.
So in the fall of November 2018, a collision of events occurred impacting our queer community at Regis University. First, the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to review a proposed ban on transgender military service members. And second, Regis announced on their Facebook page that Chick-fil-A would soon arrive on campus as a food option, which was a controversial since Chick-fil-A's corporate executives have espoused homophobic views. Regis's Queer Resource Alliance wrote a response for the provost to share campus-wide, which included guidelines for how to support queer students. One of those guidelines was to attend the upcoming student drag show. The Archbishop of Denver saw this statement as a violation of Regis's Catholic identity and wrote a letter chastising our campus for the trans-inclusive actions we had taken. And then Catholic news organizations picked up the story and circulated it widely. Regis administrators, including the president and provost, stood their ground, with a university spokesperson telling the Catholic news agency that, quote, young LGBTQIA people are among the most vulnerable in our society. These youth seriously contemplate suicide at 3 times the rate of heterosexual youth. Almost half of all transgender youth people have attempted suicide. Thus, compassion and welcoming arms to provide a safe, warm environment is an imperative for all educators.
So Regis and Regis's administration did not arrive at a place where we could confront and withstand such a test like this out of the blue. Grassroots efforts really prepared students, faculty, staff, and administration to tackle this difficult question of LGBTQIA plus rights and queer activism on a Catholic campus. We worked to give people language around inclusion, show the history of difficulties facing those with queer identities, and collaborate on tangible ideas for moving forward productively. This poster here highlights 3 ways we believe prior queer activism on campus laid the groundwork for confronting a politically charged environment.
So first, the Queer Resource Alliance created a 3-hour queer inclusivity workshop that trained more than 400 students, faculty, and staff in its first 2 years, and another 100 in the next 2 years. Among them, the president's cabinet, the president himself, and the provost's office, and the provost herself. Most importantly, the Brave Space trainings created a network of people across campus who were practiced in queer inclusivity language and initiating their own efforts in their own spaces.
Second, we institutionalized the Queer Resource Alliance with a budget, charge, and mission. And this allowed us to speak more loudly and collaboratively with groups across campus.
And finally, throughout it all, we have highlighted rather than hid from our campus's Jesuit Catholic mission, paying close attention to the connections between Catholic social teaching and queer activism, and thus preempting efforts to suggest that the two are mutually exclusive.
So each of these 3 steps is mentioned briefly here and then explored further in the full article that was recently published in Jesuit Higher Education.
We encourage you to check out that full article, and thank you so much for attending our poster presentation.